we have a nicer engine, a nicer transmission, and a nicer converter. So
and a nicer race car.
It should go faster, but race cars normally don't do what you want them to do. It's 9 times out of 10 they do the opposite of what you want them to do, and you're like, I hate race cars. Why are we spending all this money? And then the one time that it does what you want it to do, you're like, just take all my money. Take it all. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Gonna give you a little Charlie Brown update. We're gonna break some hearts though. We're not gonna be at No Prep Kings Columbus. We really wanted to go, but we just got too much going on. There's no excuse. We just didn't have time to finish it, and everything this year is kind of new, right? Last year we had to push to get the car done. Heath had already run that engine. It just wasn't it. It seemed really new, but it wasn't as new as what this actually is. So yeah, we're gonna take our time, make sure it's done right, give ourselves plenty of time to test, and then hopefully we'll see you guys in Bowling Green No Prep Kings. That's kind of the goal now. If we feel good and we want to do something in between, we may, but that's definitely the goal. Heath was up here on Friday and helped get the plumbing and stuff done. So obviously this is a new radiator and everything. I think we might have talked about that. Remote mount water pump. And then we made all these AN lines to do that. We have a couple of them that we still need to make where the fuel system stuff's going to end up, but for the most part all the plumbing is done, which is that's a big box to check off. This motor has a dry sump on it, so of course it's plumbed in. We got to figure out, we did have to normally there's another tank that's built into this, but we're going to have to remote that and plumb that in. We got to figure out where that's going to go. And then we're going to have to replumb some of the dry sump stuff down here once we get the rack on it. So what Brad, and I think Ricky's going to throw a little bite of Brad talking about it, but he has been really working hard on the front suspension.
Oh, we're getting there. Not as fast as Jason would like, but we're getting there. We're almost ready to build headers. I got the front end. Well, I got this side of the front end about whooped. I still got to duplicate it on the other side.
I was going to say, once you get this one, you got to do the same thing.
Yep. But we built a K-member up here, so we'll be able to get the oil pan off with the engine in the car, which last year we couldn't. So last year when we hurt a piston, we had to pull the whole motor out, and that was a huge pain. So obviously that's not doable at the racetrack. So now we'll have spare pistons in the trailer, so like if we go to a big race and we do hurt it, we can change a piston, overnight. And obviously it still take a couple hours, but if we're racing Friday and Saturday, like at an MPK, if we hurt it on Friday, we could be back racing on Saturday.
Much more manageable
at the racetrack.
Yeah,
so
nice.
It'd be much easier to work on. Plus, hopefully we lost some weight. This motor's 60 pounds heavier than the old motor, so we were trying to lose 60 pounds off the front of the car to compensate for the added weight of the motor. We're getting close. Headers and the intake, and it'll be about ready to fire.
We kind of built the car not backwards, but we done like normally we wouldn't have already plumbed stuff. We're just there's some stuff that Brad has to do, and then there's stuff that the rest of us have to do. So yeah, we're just making use of our time.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Jaybird, I don't know, you can see the brake lines better on the other side, but Jaybird made new stainless brake lines for the front. He hid them so well that they're going to be hard to film, but this line runs down this tube and down and up and around, and then it pokes out, and then it'll have a soft line from here to the caliper, and then the rear line goes from here and then all the way to the back. So
killed it.
Yep. That's the funny stuff about building race cars, is sometimes some of the trickiest, nicest stuff you'll never even notice because it was hidden so well.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that would be a specialty of Jay's. He would be able.
Yep.
Yeah.
The front of the car just looks.
Oh yeah, the front of the car. It's just all around. It's going to be. It's better. It's packaged better. It's going to be easier to work on now. The radiator.
Yeah, all this is
the radiator's all quick release and everything now.
Yeah.
The front end is quick release, just like a one-piece carbon front end.
much more practical. For
yeah,
the,
exactly. So it'll be super easy to work on now. That was one of our complaints last year. It was kind of difficult to work on. We were like, we got to fix this.
Yeah.
So it's not, you never want to have to work on your race car, but when you do, you want it to be easy and quick.
Of course.
So especially if you're working on it at the racetrack, it's got to be quick, you know, so.
So taking a little bit longer, but getting it the way that we really
wanted it. It's going to be a lot nicer car than last year.
Yeah.
So last year we redid the whole back of the car. Now we're basically redoing the front half of the car. So we contemplated, you know, when we first got the car, it's like, at what point do you stop? Do you just cut it all out and start over from scratch? You know, if you do that, then you're never racing. You know, if we would have done all this last year, we probably wouldn't have raced the car all last year.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's so much work. So we decided to do the back last year, obviously, because there was nothing in the back.
There was no back.
Yeah,
there was no other option.
A requirement. Yeah, there was no other option. So we left the front alone. We didn't like a lot of things in the front end, but it was raceable. So we just kind of dealt with it and was like, we'll deal with it next year. And we should have worked on it more over the winter, but we just had a lot going on with the building and customer cars and stuff, and part sales have been crazy. We're crazy over the winter, so we're just a lot more overwhelmed than we thought we would be, and didn't get a whole lot of time to work on it over the winter. So now we're working on it in the springtime, missing races.
Crunch time.
But
there's a lot of racing left to do.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And we can race
Yeah.
until December if we really want to.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's just, you know, trying to manage your priorities. You know, customers come before our own race car, so it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's all gonna get done.
Yep.
We'll get out there.
Yeah, really. I mean, I don't know. We might be able to. Well, I mean, it'd be nice if we're at the dyno next week. I don't know if we will be or not, but
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely closer than we've ever been.
Yeah, every day, every day.
A little closer.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole front, I mean, it looks completely different than last year. There's a lot of new stuff going on. So.
Oh, yeah. Last year it looked like a stock Malibu in the front. Now it looks a whole lot more race car.
It does. Even more reason to wait to get it dialed in, because it's all, like you said, it's all new, so we got to get it.
Yep.
Well, just
Testing on the dyno.
Deal with that engine, and, like, you know, Brad and I raced turbo stuff before this, so we've never ran a big nitrous engine. So.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, we raced the whole thing last year. It's not going to be that much different than last year. Yeah. It's just the motor makes a little bit more power on, and then we're going to be able to spray it a little bit harder. So
a lot harder.
Not a lot harder, just a little bit harder. But yeah, it won't be that big of a difference from last year. It should be pretty similar, but it is an all-new motor, transmission, and converter, so we definitely are going to need some testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know what it's going to do.
What's this list?
Stuff that needs wired.
Oh, not too bad. What's the weather wiring do?
We got a Jimmy weather meter. So it's a little weather sensor that measures like
humidity and stuff?
The humidity, the temperature, and all that. And so you can data log it. You could actually also make changes to the tune of the engine based off of the weather conditions.
Well, that's fancy right there.
Fancy.
Dang.
Yeah. So if you guys want that fancy weather data, say go to PlimptonInnovations.com. He's the only one that makes one.
Really? And that's like valuable stuff. I've heard you guys say, like, when the humidity's up, like, that'll change, like...
Oh yeah, the weather changes.
It plays a big role.
The way the engine runs a bunch. Yeah.
Man, this thing was a lot neater when we first wired it. What'd you guys do to it?
What's that?
So this thing was a lot neater when we first wired it. What'd y'all do to it?
Well, I haven't touched anything under the dash. That's how it was. I literally haven't touched anything.
Okay.
We'll blame MC again.
Yeah, blame MC again.
How do you do this without 2 people?
I put the wires in the right spot to begin with.
That's true.
How's it looking?
Turn on the air conditioning in here.
Yeah, I got you. This is why that.
New shop have AC.
It does.
Whole shop.
I believe. Yeah.
Let's go over there and work.
Yeah, let's get it. So right now, just fixing last year's rush mistakes.
Yeah, you know, Martin Conley and I wired this car up real quick, and I'm going to blame all the mistakes on Martin. In reality, you know, we just wired it up so fast. We didn't know exactly how we wanted to do everything, so we're just fixing stuff now. After racing it for, we raced it for most of the year last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, after racing it for the whole year, they figured out a couple of things that they wanted to change and move around and add. So yeah, we're just fixing a couple of things.
Cool.
So plus wiring the 12th stage of nitrous, 11 or 12 or 13.
Whatever we got.
15 stages of
Something
nitrous.
stupid. Yeah.
Whatever.
Alright.
Yeah, this is
Right.
Okay.
I'm in this deal.
Look at that.
Look at all them button options, baby. What do you think, Todd? Look at all these buttons we
I'm
got.
off the clock now, so I'm just observing.
Actually did.
Trying to learn some wiring stuff.
I'll tell you how to learn wiring stuff. When your car gets done, you
buy
take it
it
to
out.
Gash's house and say, "Hey, buddy, wire my car. How much do I owe you?"
I don't know if I can afford that.
It's a wrap for tonight.
Yeah, but every
Yeah, just depends.
every department's really pulling their weight,
So you need to fix
doing
it
real
in there.
good, working overtime,
In there.
getting stuff down.
Fix it in there.
We're looking good in every department,
Every department.
except
2 on stage 2 and 3 on stage 3. Perfect.
Trying to make
You know,
Charlie Brown
without
Fox
the
buy.
relay, without that relay and the little harness,
We haven't been
there's nothing
successful in
for you to
that.
wire.
suspension
No, I was just
department.
curious.
They've been claiming they're working all these hours,
Right
but
to that stud. Yep.
it's not adding up, bro. We're gonna have to
The
really,
other one
we're
right
gonna have
next
to pull
to
the
him.
tapes.
Yep. Orange.
What
to
all
the
did we
stud,
get done
blue out
today,
to
though?
the solenoid,
So Gash redid a lot of the wiring,
which is over there on that connector with everything
like
else.
because of all the stuff that we added.
And then, is this my cord?
Like the
Your-
parachute is now on a button, which is nice. Gash, what all did you do?
Fixed the nitrous wiring, added a third nitrous pressure sensor. Put a connector on your purge. Wired up the lockup solenoid. Wired up the Davis VPS. Wired the parachute button and the parachute output. Gave you a dome light. Wired up the the Plimpton weather meter, and wired up the buttons on your new steering wheel.
Wired up the fan and water pump.
Wired up the I wired up the fan. I didn't do anything with the water pump. Well, I'll give you a ground.
Yeah.
So just a bunch of little stuff, but you know, I mean, a bunch of little stuff on wiring takes 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, you're super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.